Today, we're looking at the real science behind the world's most famous murder chicken, the T-Rex. This absolute apex predator was a feathered nightmare that whispers at infrasonic frequencies directly into your spine and can smell you from miles away. Welcome to the real science of the T-Rex. Now, one of the most iconic scenes in Jurassic Park is that blood-curdling roar. But what if I told you they got a lot wrong? Like, a lot wrong. So what did the T-Rex look like? Well, a lot more smug and a lot more feathery? Let me explain. The real plot twist is feathers. We now know it is extremely likely that the T-Rex had feathers, but it probably isn't the type of feathers that you're thinking of. You're probably thinking of flight feathers, the feathers you find in modern birds. Now, these are obviously designed for flight. Their shape and their structure is designed to provide lift and thrust. But the T-Rex didn't fly, so it more likely had scruffy down-like feathers all over its back. Think scaly murder chicken with a bad fluffy haircut. Now, earlier evolutionary cousins of the T-Rex, such as Tyrannus, have been shown by fossil evidence to have had feathers. But the only fossilized evidence of T-Rex skin shows scales but not feathers. So scientists really can't be 100% sure, and if you look at the literature, there is so much evidence on both sides of this argument that if you have any opinion backed by some science, it could possibly be correct. So even the experts don't know for sure if they did or didn't have feathers. A recent discovery has shown that T-Rex probably had lips. So Jurassic Park's nightmare lizard might have looked more like a giant scaly duck-faced influencer. Now, this seems insignificant, but it completely changes the way we see the T-Rex. Without lips, their teeth were bare for all to see, and it makes them look absolutely menacing. Now, don't get me wrong, these teeth are ridiculous. The longest of their teeth could reach up to 12 inches long. But it now appears that the teeth were hidden inside the lips when the mouth was closed. A small detail, but it completely changes the way they look. They look more like an awkward muppet than a terrifying predator. Just look at the difference it makes to Kermit. He goes from a happy little frog to terrifying nightmare fuel. So size-wise, Jurassic Park actually did quite well. The T-Rex could reach anywhere from 12 to 13 feet high at the hip and could reach up to 40 feet long, and these monsters weighed between 5 to 7,000 kilos, which is just absolutely huge. For context, these are pretty much the exact dimensions of a double-decker bus, except it's an angry flesh bus that wants to eat you. Now, we all know that iconic blood-curdling roar of the T-Rex, but that was basically just Frankenstein's monster of animal noises mashed together. It was actually a mix of an alligator for the low-frequency rumbles, a lion for the growling and roaring elements, a baby elephant for the high-pitched scream aspect of the roar, and some of the sounds were even made from the mating call of a horny tree bear and male koala's grumbles. Throw all those noises together and it makes the Hollywood-style roar that we're all used to. Now, in reality, it's actually very likely that the T-Rex just didn't even roar at all. It was more likely to use low-frequency growls and grumbles like the alligators and crocodiles or the cassowary. Now, I was actually just going to make this a really short part of the video, but I listened to these cassowaries and just listen to this sound. It is absolutely insane. And again, birds are the closest living ancestors to dinosaurs, so why would they not sound extremely like this? Now don't get me wrong, the cassowary is big and menacing, just listen to that sound, but it is nothing compared to the T-Rex, so just scale this up and imagine the sorts of low frequency growls and grumbles that the T-Rex could have made. Now it's also thought that some of the sounds they used would have been known as infrasound, which is sound that has such a low frequency that humans cannot hear it, but you would have been able to feel the vibrations in your bones, which is arguably even scarier. The apex predator of the Cretaceous period probably sounded more like a hungover horny koala. With all that in mind, what you're about to hear is the most accurate depiction of a T-Rex roar to date. Take a listen. Now let's talk about the dumbest myth of all. If you don't move, it can't see you. Why would that have evolved? That is just the most pathetic predator. That just never would have evolved in the first place. And if you look at this point in the film, it is just basically blind. Why would it not be able to see you here? In reality, the T-Rex probably had absolutely incredible vision. Birds are the direct evolutionary ancestors of dinosaurs, and if you look at the bald eagle, their vision is the best of any animal in the animal kingdom, being able to spot a mouse from 2 miles away. Why would the predatory ancestors of the bald eagle not also have incredible vision? Moreover, the optic lobe, the visual processing part of their brain, was actually quite large and is usually always correlated with better vision. And the nose was absolutely god tier. The olfactory bulb, basically the smell processor in the brain, was absolutely huge. It could likely smell you from miles away, used to detect carcasses and prey before it could even see them. There is evidence of various hunting strategies used. The strong jaws and bite forces would suggest a sudden ambush from cover to grab hold of and kill prey. But the same large and strong jaws, with a bite force of over 12,000 pounds per square inch, could also suggest brilliant scavenging potential, being able to tear up carcasses and crush bones with ease, with some scientists even suggesting that scavenging was their main source of food. They may have even chased down prey too, with their powerful legs allowing endurance and stalking of prey. And some scientists have even suggested they may have hunted in packs, which sounds absolutely terrifying, but evidence for this is limited. Now, realistically, it would have been some combination of all of these hunting strategies. Think apex predator and opportunistic scavenger, like a modern day grizzly bear. Now in the film, they are portrayed as more of a raging beast than a thinking predator, but it turns out their brain was actually quite large for a dinosaur. Some paleontologists think they were even as smart as modern day birds of prey or crocodiles. Not genius level, but definitely cunning enough to have developed complex behaviour and specific hunting strategies. And lots of these ideas, even from the experts, are just speculation due to lack of direct fossil evidence. So all this suggests that the T-Rex maybe wasn't quite as smart as, say, a raptor, but they were certainly smarter than the Hollywood brute sort of vibe that they've been given. So what did Jurassic Park get right? The size? Sort of. The roar? Nope. The hunting strategy? Sort of. The vibe? Definitely. But the science? Let's just say Spielberg's T-Rex was cool, but the real one was weirder, fluffier, and possibly even scarier.